Hi dear students, I am Srinivas sir from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. So in the last classes we studied about the lifestyle of animals, how they live on the earth, what are their lifestyles, that is feeding habits, how they feed, what on they feed, all those things we have studied in the last class. And the about the omnivorous, carnivorous, herbivorous we have discussed. Herbivorous means the animals which eat plants only. Carnivorous means the animals which eat flesh, and omnivorous eat both flesh as well as the plants. Like the same, the scavengers. Scavengers are the animals which feed on the dead animals, which feed on the dead animals. That is the dead animals or the flesh left by the big animals, that is like the carnivorous animals like lion, tiger. Okay. Next, in the aquatic animals also there are carnivorous, herbivorous, omnivorous and mud eaters also we have discussed. The birds, birds also we have discussed. And next we have discussed about the breathing. We have discussed about the breathing, how they breathe. The mammals breathe through lungs which are present both sides on the earth, sorry, on the heart. Okay. Next we will go how the amphibians breathe. Amphibians breathe. Up to here we have completed. Fish breathe through gills. Fish breathe through gills. That is page number 24. Okay. Now we will start from here. Fish breathe through gills. Fish are blessed with gills to breathe. This also I have explained. The fish take in oxygen through their gills. At the same time, carbon dioxide in their blood is dispersed into water. Animals like crabs, prawns and oysters have gills to breathe. These animals also gills. Gills are the special organs. Gills are the special organs like our nose. They have gills. Okay, gills are not any special thing. They are the breathing organs of that animals which are living inside the water. Gills are the breathing organs of the animals which live inside the water. Okay. Next we will go for amphibians breathe through gills and lungs. Okay. I will read page number 24. Okay. Look at the textbook. Amphibians breathe through gills and lungs. Tadpoles breathe through gills, but an adult frog breathes through its lung on land and through its moist skin underwater. Microbes are microscopic animals like amoeba and paramecium breathe through their skin. Earthworms also breathe through their skin. Amphibians, how they will breathe? Amphibian means both that they are living inside the water as well as on the earth. They live on the earth as well as inside the water. How they will breathe? How they will breathe? Tadpoles breathe through gills. Tadpoles means small frogs. Okay, small frogs are called as tadpoles. They breathe through the gills. They breathe through the gills when they are in water. But an adult frog breathes through its lung on land. Okay, it has both gills as well as lungs. The frog has both gills as well as the lungs. When it is inside the water, it breathes through the gills. When it is outside the water, that is on the land, it breathes through the lungs. Okay, microbes are microscopic animals like amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba, Amoeba. This is the amoeba and paramecium. These two are the very small animals. That means they are formed by a single cell. We can't see through directly by naked eyes. We have to see them through the microscope. We have to see them by the microscope. So amoeba and paramecium they will breathe through their skin because they are called unicellular organisms. Uni means single cellular organisms, this amoeba and paramecium. So they breathe through their skin. They breathe through their skin. Earthworms also breathe through their skin because they are inside the earth. They are inside the earth. So they also breathe through the skin. Earthworms breathe through the skin. Next, come to page number 25. Insects breathe through air tubes or holes. Next, how the insects? I will read. There are a large number of holes on the bodies of insects through which they breathe. These are called spiracles. These spiracles lead into a network of branching tubes called trachea. They are called as trachea. Because of the contraction of the body muscles, air is pumped into the tubes and then carried out to all tissues. The tissues take in oxygen from the tubes and give out carbon dioxide into the tubes. Here, how they will breathe, that is small insects. Small insects means like cockroaches, okay, like some birds, mosquitoes, how they will breathe. There are a large number of holes on the bodies of the insects. That means on the body of the insect, there are small holes. Small holes. When they body, okay, the body contracts and opens. That means they will do like this. So at that time, the air enters into the hole and passes away. When the air enters into the hole, it absorbs the oxygen. It absorbs the oxygen. So here they have given when large number of holes on the bodies of insects through which they breathe, these are called spiracles. What we call it as? These are called spiracles. These are called spiracles. These spiracles lead into a network of branching tubes called trachea. So trachea, T-R-A-C-H-A-E. These holes have a network of tubes throughout the body. They have the tubes network throughout the body. Okay, what they will do? Because of the contraction of the body muscles, contraction, that means the body will contract and extract like that. They will do like this. So at that time, the hole, into the hole, the air enters. Into the hole, the air enters and the air is pumped into the tubes and then carried out to all the tissues. When this air passes into this, through this network, pipe network, what this will do? The air carries to throughout the body. Okay, that means to the all the tissues. The tissues take in oxygen from the tubes and give out carbon dioxide into the tubes. What will happen? They absorb the oxygen. They absorb the oxygen and release the carbon dioxide as waste. That carbon dioxide is breathed out and they have taken the oxygen inside. So this is how the insects will breathe. Once again I will explain. These have tubes. That means breathe tubes, the small holes, they have called as spiracles, and this we have connected to a network of tubes. Connected to a network of tubes called trachea. Okay, when this contracts, when the body of the body muscles contraction is done, okay, contraction will happen. At the time, the air enters into these small holes, and this is carried to the all the tissues of the body, all the tissues of the body of the insect. So there, the tissues absorb the oxygen and release out the carbon dioxide. So how these insects will breathe? They breathe through the small holes on the body. The tissues taken in oxygen from the tubes and give out carbon dioxide into the tubes. So this is how the insects breathe. I hope you understand. Next we will go to the movement. We have studied up to here the breathing. First, how they feed. That means eating. What are the feeding habits? Next, breathing. Now we will move to the movement. That means how they will move. What are they use for the purpose of moving from one place to another place. All the animals will move from one place to another place, but they use different organs for this purpose. They use different organs for this purpose. What they use? Let us study. Okay. Movement. Animals move from one place to another in search of food, shelter, and to protect themselves from their enemies. Most land animals have four limbs. Two limbs at the back are called hind limbs and two limbs on the front are called fore limbs. Okay, here animals move from one place to another in search of food, shelter, and to protect themselves from their enemies. We have studied already in the first lesson. Okay, here the same. For what purpose they move? They move for the purpose of food, shelter, and to protect. Most land animals have four limbs. All the animals which are living on the land have four limbs. That means four legs. Limbs means four legs. Limbs means four legs. Two in the front and two in the back. Two in the front and two in the back. Two limbs at the back are called hind limbs. Back are called as hind limbs. And the front are called as fore limbs. Fore limbs. So these are the four. Next, mammals. Animals like cow, horse, tiger, cat, dog, etc. use their four limbs to move, while man and kangaroo are the mammals who use two hind limbs to move. But bat is also a mammal, but it cannot walk on its limb. It has wings to fly. Here they have given all the animals which are living on the earth have four limbs. Okay, they move by using these four limbs. All the animals except man and the kangaroo. Sorry, man and kangaroo are the mammals who use two hind limbs. That means in the before ages, that means in the past we have also four limbs. We also working on the four limbs, but after that our two legs is converted into hands for the working purpose. They have converted. Okay, the kangaroo has two limbs. It will move on the two limbs. That means man and kangaroo are the only two animals which move on two limbs. That is on the back limbs. What we call it as hind limbs. We call them as hind limbs. So we walk on our legs. We walk on our legs. Bat is also a mammal. Bat is also a mammal, but it cannot walk on limbs. But it cannot walk on limbs. It has wings to fly. It has wings to fly. Which one? Bat. Bat is also a mammal, but it flies with the wings. I hope you understand. Once again I will explain. All the animals have four limbs. All the animals which are living on the earth have four limbs. So they use four limbs for walking purpose, that is movement purpose, except the man and the kangaroo. Man and kangaroo uses only two legs for walking purpose or the movement purpose. Bat is a mammal which has wings for movement, wings for moving from one place to another place. This is about the mammals. Next we go for birds. Next we go for birds. I will read the paragraph. Birds are the most beautiful species among animals. Birds have wings which help them to fly. The wings have feathers. Birds have hind limbs. Birds can perch, hop, walk and run with their hind limbs. Some birds like ostrich, kiwi, duck and emu cannot fly, so they walk on the ground. They are flightless birds. They vary in terms of color, size and behavior, but all of them have similar body forms. How the birds will move from one place to another place? What they use? They have the feathers or wings. They have the wings to fly from one place to another place. Birds are the most beautiful species among all the animals. They are very, very beautiful. They are very, very beautiful to look. Okay, birds have wings by which they will fly from one place to another place. The wings have feathers. The wings, what the wings consist? The wings consist of feathers. Birds have hind limbs. Birds have hind limbs. Okay, the forelimbs are modified into wings. Forelimbs are forelimbs. That means the front one are modified into wings. The hind limbs as it is. Okay, they use them for the walking purpose. Birds can perch, hop, walk and run with their hind limbs. Okay, they will jump from one place to another place. For that purpose, they use these hind limbs. Okay, some birds like ostrich. There are some birds which cannot fly. Which are the examples? Ostrich, kiwi, duck and emu cannot fly. These are the animals, they can't fly. Just they will run from one place to another place. So they walk on the ground. They are flightless birds. We call them as flightless birds. Flightless birds. Okay, flightless means they can't fly. They can't fly. They vary in terms of color. For this reason, they vary in color. They are very strong. Okay, and size and behavior. But all of them have similar body forms. That means their body structure is same. Their body structure is same as the other birds, but they can't fly because they are heavy in size. So they can't fly. See here they have given ostrich, kiwi. This is the figures of ostrich and kiwi. They are given in the page number 25. So this is about the birds. So birds will fly by using, that means they move from one place to another place by using their feathers or wings. Wings they use for flying from one place to another place, which consists of feathers. Okay. Next we will move to insects. Insects, I will read. Insects form the largest group of animals living on land, water and air. Insects have 6 legs. Insects like ant and cockroach use their legs to walk. Insects like bedbugs and lice use their legs to crawl on the ground. A grasshopper uses its legs, long hind legs to hop. Some insects like wasps, grasshoppers and butterflies have a pair of wings each to fly. Insects like dragonfly cannot fold their stretched wings. However, grasshoppers, locusts and crickets can fold their wings when not in use. So here they have given how the insects use their legs, for what purpose they will use, how many number of legs they have. Here they have given. Insects have form the largest group of animals. That means so many numbers and so many kinds. So many numbers as well as so many kinds are there in the insects. Okay, which are living on land, water as well as in the air. Some insects live on the land, some insects live inside the water and some insects live in the air. Okay. Insects have 6 legs. How many legs insects have? 6 legs. Okay. Insects like ant and cockroach use their legs to walk. This, for example, cockroach and ants. What purpose they use? They use for the purpose of walking from one place to another place. Insects like bedbugs and lice use their legs to crawl on the ground because they won't walk, they will crawl. Okay, they will crawl on the ground. A grasshopper uses its hind legs to hop. What the grasshopper do? From one place to another place, it jumps. That means hopping. Okay. Some insects like wasps, grasshoppers and butterflies have a pair of wings each to fly. Some have birds like structure, that is wings. They will use them to fly. For example, wasps, grasshoppers and butterflies. Okay. Insects like dragonfly cannot fold their stretched wings. Dragonfly cannot stretch their wings to how the birds will fold. They won't stretch. Okay. However, grasshoppers, locusts and crickets can fold their wings when not in use. That means some insects will fold their wings when not in use, but some they will stretch like this only at the time of use or not use. Okay. Birds at the time of flying, they will stretch. Other time, they will fold. Okay. But some insects, always they are stretched like this only. Okay. They can't fold them. But some insects fold. Okay. This is about the insects, how they will fly from one place to another place or move from one place to another place. Next come to water animals. How the water animals will move from one place to another place, that is inside the water. I will read. Fish and whales possess fins and a strong tail to move in water. The two pair of fins are used to move forward. A frog has long hind limbs which helps in jumping and hopping. Frog also has webbed feet to swim. Penguins are peculiar birds found in the Antarctic region near the South Pole. They are about 1 meter tall. They do not fly but use their short wings as flippers to swim. Here how the aquatic animals will swim in the water. Fish and whales possess fins. See, you will find the small fins like this. If a fish is like this, okay, you have small fins like this. Okay, here also they have very small fins and tail, strong tail. This tail is also very strong. It changes the direction. It uses this tail for changing the direction. The two pair of fins are used to move forward. These fins are used by the fish to move forward. A frog has longer hind limbs which helps in jumping and hopping. Frogs, the hind limbs, that means the back legs, they are very long, so by that it will jump easily. It will jump or hopping. Okay, it is used for the hopping purpose. Frogs also have webbed feet to swim. That means their feet. in here the skin is there. Here the skin is there for the swimming purpose. It uses this webbed feet for the swimming purpose. Next, penguins. Penguins are peculiar birds found in Antarctic region near the South Pole. That means when you come to the earth, okay, in the South Pole they found Antarctic region. Antarctic region means there is very cold. There is very cold. These are some special birds. Penguins are some special birds found in the Antarctic region near the South Pole. They are about 1 meter tall. How much? 1 meter height. Okay. They do not fly. These are the birds, but they do not fly. But they use their short wings as flippers to swim. Flippers. That means for the boat, what we are using flippers. In the same way, they use their wings for the moving in the water. Moving in the water, that to swim. They use their small short wings as flippers to swim in the water. That means in here it is ice and also so much of ponds or waters are present, water bodies are present. So in that they live, they use this as the they use their short wings as flippers to swim. Flippers to swim. Next we will go for reptiles. Reptiles like lizard, crocodile and snake use various forms of locomotion to move from one place to another place. Some of them use their legs and some use scaly skin to move through the process of crawling. Crocodiles and geckos have 4 short limbs each to crawl. A snake uses its scale to crawl with the help of his strong muscular system and a flexible back one. Next, how the reptiles move. Reptiles like lizard, crocodile and snake are called as the reptiles because they don't have moving organs. That means various forms of locomotion to move from one place to another place. Some of them use their legs, some use the scaly skin. That means the snakes have the scaly skin like this. Okay, scaly skin. By this they will travel from one place to another place. Crocodiles and geckos have 4 short limbs each to travel. They have 4 short limbs. That means crocodiles have 4 short limbs to travel. They don't walk fast. Just they will crawl. A snake uses its scales to crawl with the help of its strong muscular system and flexible backbone. It has flexible backbone. For that reason only, it will move very fast. Its backbone turns as it wish. Okay, it will move fast for this flexible backbone. Flexible means it is very stretchable, easily stretchable. Okay. Next come to man. Man is a terrestrial animal. Man uses his one pair of limbs to support his body. This is why, unlike other animals, man has an erect posture. Man can hold things with the help of his thumb. Man is the most developed creature on the earth. Man uses his brain to control other creatures. Humans have been categorized as mammals. Next come to man, who is living on the earth. That is, he is also a terrestrial animal. Man is also a animal. Man uses his one pair of limbs to support his body. That means for the standing purpose as well as walking purpose. This is why, unlike other animals, man has an erect posture. That means we have a correct posture to stand. No other animal can stand like stiff like the man. Okay, they will stand, but for a 2 minutes or 3 minutes they will stand, then they will use the 4 legs. But man is the only animal who stands on 2 legs. Okay, so he has got a erect posture, that means correct position. Okay, man can hold things with the help of his thumb. He will hold anything with the use of these thumbs. Man is the most developed creature on the earth. Man is the only animal who has fully developed mind, that means brain. So he is called as the most developed creature on the earth. Man uses his brain to control other creatures. So man controls all the other animals. He knows how to hunt, how to take the animals into control. So everything. For that reason only, he is rearing all the other animals. He is controlling all the other animals. So humans have been categorized as mammals. Human also comes under the category of mammals. Next, migration among animals. What is the meaning of migration? I will read. Migration is defined as the movement of animals from one region to another in response to changes in weather, habitat or availability of food. Many times animals also migrate because of natural calamities like earthquake, drought or flood. Birds migrate twice a year during spring and autumn. However, only some birds migrate. These birds are called migratory birds. The birds that do not migrate are called resident birds. Some birds from other countries like stork, Siberian cranes and mallard ducks visit India every winter. So here migration. What is the meaning of migration? That is moving from one place to another place in search of or to adapt to the climatic conditions. Adapt to the climatic conditions or to search the food or to for the purpose of reproduction. They will move from one place to another place. So here migration among animals. Migration is defined as the movement of animals from one region to another. That means from one place to another place in response of changes in weather. That means the weather conditions are not good, so they will move to the weather condition where they have good weather conditions. Next, habitat. That means to get the correct habitat. Next are the availability of food. In some days they won't get the food in the place where they live. So in search of that food, they move from one place to another place. Okay, in search of to avoid the temperature, they move from one place to another place. Many times animals also migrate because of natural calamities like earthquake, drought or flood. When the earthquake happens, they don't get the food. So they will move from one place to another place. Drought, that means there is no rain at all. So they won't get the food. They will move from one place to another place. Flood, that means heavy rainfall. So to protect themselves, they move from one place to another place. That is called as migration. Birds migrate twice a year during spring and autumn. The birds migrate twice in a year during the spring season and autumn season. However, only some birds migrate. Not all the birds will migrate. Some birds will migrate. Okay, these birds are called migratory birds. So we call them as migratory birds. We call them as migratory birds. The birds that do not migrate are called resident birds. They are called as migratory. The birds which are staying on their own home. That means they won't migrate from place to place. They are called as resident birds. Some birds from other countries, they come from other countries to India for their reproduction purpose. For their reproduction purpose every year, the birds like stork, Siberian cranes and mallard ducks, these are the names of the birds. They will come to our India for the purpose of reproduction. They came here and they will they give the birth to the eggs and they will hatch them, and then along with their young ones, they will move from here to their own countries. So this is about the migration among the animals. Okay, I hope you understand the lesson very well. Okay, thank you very much.